Hi guys, it's Kimberly. Welcome back. I wanted to let you know that last night's Eternal Flame March class series for Twin Flames, I had a couple of people in the class, and during the call, I got a text from a family member that somebody very close to me had passed on. So it's an amazing thing to. I've always said that you guys are my soul family, okay? And that's why I've named this the Twin Flame Family, because we are all on this journey of ascension together and going through this twin flame experience together. And so many of you have become not just clients, but friends. And I know that the timing of that news was very divine because the souls that were on the call with me, thank you so much to you. I know you know who you are. You were supporting me in a way that you didn't even realize. And it was almost like when I fell for a moment, in that emotional moment, you were right there. And it's amazing because this is someone who is like a matriarch in my family, and that the people who were huddled around me when I found out were actually my twin flame soul family. So anyhow, I love you guys all, and thank you so much. And also I'm saying this so that we recognize that this journey is so much bigger than just our romantic connection with our twin flames. It's about connecting with one another, and especially the divine feminine. I feel how we're all aligning in a really powerful way. A lot of times in our 3D worlds, the divine feminine gets caught up in, I don't know, just petty things or jealousy or, and I feel as though we're here to help boost one another up and to help one another, get into our power centers and to own our divine feminine qualities and strengths. And the matriarch that I lost in my family is someone who is the complete embodiment of the divine feminine, of the Queen Mother, I would say, and just the epitome of strength. And I mean strength, not false masculine strength. I mean true strength, the core strength, the nurturing and supporting others, the being a smart and strong, independent person, a survivor, but not one who is shielded and armored, one that wears her wisdom. She was also the wise woman and the giver of love and light, and she was just an amazing, amazing, amazing person and soul. And I have taught in my Divine Feminine Goddess workshop classes that many of you have asked, how do I step further into my Divine Feminine or Divine Masculine roles? And I always keep recommending to look to those that you admire, those that you look up to, whether that's a celebrity that, you just have an admiration for, somebody at work that you admire, a family member or a mentor, a friend. We probably find ourselves admiring people more than we even are aware of. And usually where that admiration is, that's a place that we can step more fully into. So as I admire this matriarch in my family and honor who she was, I recognize that I own those same traits, and it's calling me to step more fully into them. Her grace, her presence, all of those things that sometimes I abandon because I go into my false masculine side, which no longer is serving. And that, those are the things that I've been working on, as many of you have been or are starting to work on. So, so find the people and the souls that you admire, and ask yourself why and how do you admire them? And then say, okay, is this a trait that I can step more fully into, and how do I do this? Somebody on a call the other day said, I tend to be, aggressive, and there's this person in my life who just lets everything flow. And I look to that in admiration, and it's like, yes, many of us do. And that's just a reminder to let things flow, to be in the receptive, to be softer, and to also be aware of where that aggressive, angry, or overly forceful behavior is coming from. It's usually from a core wound that we need to sort of process and heal from. So anyhow, so moving on from that, this is really a message to my subscriber base, because many of you have followed me since the beginning, which was like about a year ago now. And my twin flame journey has been like really amazing and interesting and difficult in so many different ways. And I haven't posted anything personal in a while, and I'm not going to get too personal, but I just want you to know that one thing I recognized with my twin flame and I, as we've gone through recent struggles and mirroring, is that our core wounds both lie within our fathers. Okay, so often, like, we kind of assume that the masculine has the wound with the mother and the feminine has the wound with the father, but I do see that both of our wounds, core wounds, are with our fathers. And no surprise, since we're mirroring our stuff for each other. And it's interesting because I actually embody the traits of his father that have scarred him. And he embodies the traits of my father that have scarred me. So when we fight, it has been volatile, it has been explosive, it has been very emotional. And I truly like had this epiphany, like knowing that this stuff has been coming up. But it is no coincidence that I embody the traits of his father and he embodies the traits of my father, so that we can actually heal those wounds. And so specifically, his father was very much like a tyrant, very obsessive about things, very needed things to be perfect, was very demanding, was abusive, was explosive, was somebody who had a lot of out of balance masculine. So now you're looking at me and you're going, is that you, Kimberly? Well, yeah, I think it's my wounded side. I think that that's how it appears. It appears as I have OCD. I'm very demanding. I can be a tyrant when I feel hurt. I slip and have been working on, balancing that false masculine that I carry around, which is that tough. And sometimes, when we get, tough or in survivor mode and defensive, to me, I can be verbally abusive and very harsh and very stringent and very picky and very, all those things that really remind him of his father, I have been mirroring to him through my own wounds. Now, so what was my father like? My father didn't show vulnerability, okay? And so he couldn't express love in the way that I needed him to. He also didn't see me for who I was and had false perceptions of me, accused me, or thought things of me that weren't really true. And it made me really want to always feel like I needed to prove myself, and always felt like I was not loved enough. And I didn't feel like certain times my father had other favorites, like my sister or the little girl neighbor next door who he took loyalty to. So I felt a disloyalty from my father, a betrayal, really. And my twin flame has mirrored that back to me perfectly in the, not understanding who I am, and the, not being able to show love or vulnerability or admit he's wrong, or showing, the softer side when I need it. The betrayal, the, taking loyalty with other people, this disloyalty, which ignites me, obviously, because I've had that that's my core wound here. And it's just a really interesting observation. And I want you to look at your own situations and see how those similar dynamics might be true for you in the mirroring that's been happening between you and your twin flame. Because it may not be the exact same scenario as that what I'm saying, like that we both embody the traits of our fathers, but we usually embody the exact core wounds that are going to trigger the other person. So how do you heal from that? Awareness is the first step. So my being aware of that now is just, it's really interesting. It's really like obviously it's no coincidence that we have been brought together to heal these things. And the majority of his, when he has shown emotion and cried tears during our relationship, it has been because he admits that it's triggering that father wound. And I think when I've cried and when I've been in my vulnerable state, it's been because in small pieces all along the way, through different fights and different things that has been mirrored, I've been healing that father wound as well. That's been a huge core wound of mine. So know that the stuff that's being triggered, the things that are coming up to be healed. And they will keep coming up until we start to face and heal them and become aware of really how this is being orchestrated for us. So as much as we want to say our twin flames are jerks, it's really just for our own healing, our own highest good, and we must trust in that. So I wanted to share that with you. I hope that resonates and makes sense for many of you, and perhaps you'll comment in the comment section below the video and let me know, how this resonates for you specifically, because I know that once we become aware of where the wounds are coming from, it becomes a more progressive healing process where we stop getting stuck in the same cycles, like whether it's the running or the separation, the coming back together, the back and forth, or the running up against ourselves and our own ego again and again, which happens. I mean, usually that's where we hit the roadblock to where our healing stops or hits a wall, is when we hit up against our own ego. It won't let us go any further. It's going to protect us by hanging on to the old identity or the old beliefs, the old stuff. And so this process is about shifting those beliefs and actually getting past that ego wall. And I think many of us are doing it. It's not to say that we are practicing it every day, but we are having breakthroughs. And the more breakthroughs you have, the further along you will progress in this process of healing and of ascension. So I will leave you with that. I am going to be most likely away from coaching this weekend. I'm leaving the appointments open. I'm not sure exactly how this will go with the funeral services for my loved one, but if you book an appointment and I may need to reschedule with you, I'll send you an email right away. I'm just not sure of scheduling right now, but I'm just going to keep the appointments open on thetwinflamefamily.com. And I hope to work with you guys soon. I love you all, and I will reschedule the Eternal Flame class for those of you that were on the call last night. And thanks for your understanding. Love you guys all. Take care. Bye-bye.